it will be a significant amount of water. And the idea is that it will come to here and eventually reach the upper Gulf of California. It will connect the river again with the ocean.
This is Henry Fountain of the New York Times. Water, or the scarcity of it, is one of the defining issues of the West. Here in Mexico, near the border with the United States, the Colorado River once flowed freely, carrying millions of gallons every day through the Colorado River Delta and into the Gulf of California. It doesn't anymore. Instead, the river largely ends here at Morelos Dam on the border. Rather than going into the Delta, which has shrunk to 10% of its original size, the water that does come here is diverted into a network of canals to slake the thirst of cities and irrigate crops. But a new cross-border agreement, called Minute 319, will alter the face of this scorched, desiccated land.
The Colorado River in Mexico, it was called the Nile of North America. So imagine all that water flowing downstream into the Gulf. That component is gone now. You don't have that now. Mexico made a commitment and told the U.S. delegation that the restoration of the Colorado River Delta was a priority for Mexico.
Using water purchased from farmers, a Tucson-based conservation group called the Sonoran Institute has been restoring small areas in the river's riparian corridor. Their goal is to show people what just a little more water here can do.
This restoration site is 50 acres in size. It's an example of what we would like to replicate along the riparian corridor. The people that are here are planting trees. They are part of the staff from Sonoran Institute. They start doing this in December by cuttings. It takes about 2 months for the trees to be ready to develop roots. And this year, they will be planting about 40 to 50,000 trees.
The site, called Laguna Grande, seen here from the air, is an oasis in the vast Sonoran Desert.
The long-term goal in terms of restoration is to create, a network of sites like this.
This collaborative effort involving the governments of Mexico and the United States and the outstanding leadership from the Colorado River Basin states is remarkable in the diversity of its benefits.
Minute 319 was signed in November 2012. The agreement between the U.S. Department of the Interior and Mexico will, over the next 5 years, ensure that some water flows down the river into the delta.
Yeah, the agreement calls for a base flow and a post flow. What the base flow is just, a little bit of water flowing along the channel. Now, the post flow is really to mimic the conditions of the river in times before the dams were built. And we'll expect that there will be significant ecological benefits of having that water.
But Minute 319 has other provisions. It allows Mexico to store excess water behind Hoover Dam, 250 miles north of the border, for use during dry years. It also calls for the repair of irrigation canals in Mexico that were heavily damaged in a 2010 earthquake. These and other conservation efforts will make water available for restoration of the delta. The impacts of water can also be seen at the Cienega wetlands, which relies entirely on runoff from U.S. agricultural land. The Cienega provides habitat to many species of birds and other wildlife.
With the La Cienega wetlands, we can see what can happen when we put just a little bit of water in the delta. It's very important for the ecosystem because it lets us give habitat to species that are unique to this area, as well as migratory species.
I arrived in this place in 1952 when I was 5, and this river was a paradise.
Some old-timers here, like Herman Munoz, remember the way things were when the water was plentiful. Over the years, he has seen agreements come and go, and overall remains skeptical much will change in the delta.
I don't think anything is going to change. In fact, if anything, I think it may get worse.
For 70 years, the mantra in the West has been water for growth. But some say that Minute 319 marks a small but significant change in thinking, one that could have long-term repercussions for the region's future.